Well, hey guys, I finally got Cheri on the podcast.
Hello, I'm here.
People have been asking about you.
Yes, thanks.
Where are you?
Tom's the one that likes to talk a lot, so I'm letting him do this for the most part, but I'll be joining occasionally.
You're going to be my special guest. I'm Tom.
I'm Cheri.
Yeah, this is Cheri, and we're EnjoyTheJourney.Life. We are actually inside the Lippert Scouts studio pod
thing. They gutted this place out, and it is beautiful. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's amazing.
It's super cool. We are actually at the Big Tampa Super RV Show.
Right. Yeah. And it was Flippin' Nomad that actually redid the entire
transformed
beautiful.
This.
Yeah. Good job. Shout out to them.
Awesome job. Yeah.
Yes.
She did a great job on this. And the show is huge, just fabulous. And
record-breaking sales this year. It's just been incredible.
It has been awesome, and we're so looking forward to having some content come out about this. We're so glad you're choosing to listen or watch this on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. And actually, this episode, we are being interviewed by Rob from Lippert.
Yes, they have their podcast, and what a great opportunity.
Right. So Rob asked us some questions here that I think a lot of you will appreciate hearing. We talk about how we got started, a little bit about YouTube content creation, and where we're going next. And
so be sure to check out their podcast.
Yeah, watch for the Lippert podcast coming out soon. And, let's get into the interview.
Let's do it.
I appreciate you both coming into the newly renovated Lippert Scoutmobile after a long day of meeting your fans out there.
Oh, thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is so cool.
It's epic.
Here.
It's not just so cool, it's epic.
Very, very, very colorful. Let's say that.
Colorful is definitely...
Yeah, it's happy. It has so many happy, bright colors. Yeah, it's kind of fun to be in here.
And hopefully we'll be making some colorful content in here, and I love having you in here to be one of our first guests on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
But what is a day like this here? I mean, I'm grabbing you after 3.5 hours of meeting your followers, your friends. I mean, what has this day been like for you here?
We're blown away. We are, I think I cried like just overwhelming tears today a couple times because all the love that's being poured out on us has just been so moving, and where we still feel like just normal people with cameras in our faces, we upload to YouTube, but to have this outpouring of love for us, it really fills our cup and encourages us to keep going.
This is really the first time we've actually done this where we've had a group of people kind of in line to see us.
Yeah.
And we feel like normal people.
Right.
We record things and
we are normal people. We're just normal people.
And, we record things and put them on YouTube and we see the comments, and that's great, but it's hard you can get hundreds of comments to put a face to everybody. And then now we
shake their hand and give them a hug and really make those connections, like eye contact, and it's such a moving experience.
People that because they feel like they know us really well, and we're just barely, like, we recognize some frequent people that comment a lot, and it's just amazing to see them and meet them and talk to them about what they're doing, what kind of RV they're shopping for, and just yeah, we're blown away. Voices are a little bit rough.
Voices are a little rough,
Apologize for that. Yep, here, let's do an audio show after doing 3.5 hours.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but we again appreciate you for doing that. What started the YouTube channel? How did we get into creating this content and growing this community?
Tom was wintering in Pensacola, and I was living in Destin, Florida, and we both swiped right on Tinder, met, started dating there.
Yes.
And before I joined him in the RV, we were watching YouTube channels, Just like other people are inspired by us, we
Yeah,
have
sure.
been inspired by others as well.
That's
I remember watching a couple of YouTube channels. KYD was new then, I think. Gone with the Winds were still in their RV.
Right.
And
Driving and Vibing.
Driving and Vibing was one of our first.
Kyle and Olivia.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to meet Kyle
Yes.
later on.
Yep.
And I think that's that ripple effect going forward again, where we're meeting some newer, younger YouTube channels out here, and they talk about how we've inspired them.
Yeah.
And also just all of the people that are inspired to start this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And just I guess we're morphing back to the original, but I was afraid to tell Cheri when we met that I lived in an RV.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel like, when you think of the traditional...
Yeah, the chick's gonna dig it.
Right.
Right. It sounds like you live in a trailer down by the river.
Oh, you're homeless. Okay.
Right.
That's the way we could take it.
Right.
That's the interpretation.
Yeah.
And instead, you had actually, you thought it was cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Because I've always been a kind of an outside the box thinker. And so that I had actually researched tiny homes in the past because I was fascinated by a tiny home living, and it was something I was interested in. But take it a step further, put some wheels on it, and it's even better.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, now we get to go to the destinations and not just have the tiny home, but we get to see
and you have your
people.
house with you everywhere you go.
That's
What
awesome.
an epic idea.
Right, and I guess to kind of sum up the start of our relationship is you got hurt, and we had to travel, or I had to go out of state for treatment for 2 or 3 months. I don't even remember how long it was now, but I had to relocate, and it was just the perfect time for us. We had been dating for only 3 months.
Okay.
Right.
And he's like, well, are you ready to start doing this? We can do this. And so I'm like, let's do it. And so, the rest is history. Here we are.
She moved in and went on the road to Arkansas.
We went on the road to Arkansas for treatment.
If you had not had to do that, do you still feel like you would have wound up on this road, or was that like the turning point?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because we were already watching YouTube channels and talking about it. That just kind of put the time on it was a different timeline than what we had planned.
Yeah.
So it kind of threw it in there a little fast, but I mean, wow, what an adventure.
Yes.
And those creators inspired you to take this adventure and maybe even teach you some things going full-time RVing. How did they influence maybe the videos that you were putting out early on? Were there aspects of some of these creators in your style?
Right. Well, I think at first we thought, we'll just record us having fun, doing these adventures. And you know what? People don't want to watch that if they don't know who you are.
Right.
Okay.
So we started doing the how-to stuff, like basically, like it had been 6 months for you. You did your 6 months and what you experienced.
Yes.
That was one of our first big videos.
Yeah. The first and only video I've done on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? One?
Yeah. He does a lot on his own.
Sure.
He loves to talk to the camera, and he has so much information he wants to get out there, and that's why he started his podcast as well. So, and we'll talk more about that too.
Yeah, and just discovering that when you are beginning in this particular YouTube niche, that the how-tos are what gets you discovered because it's searchable.
Sure.
And then after a few years, we were able to
implement more adventure. But that is a great tip for new YouTubers that are doing travel videos. How-tos, that's a great way of being seen, and YouTube people seem to really respond to those early on.
And then they start to learn your personality.
And then they want to watch everything you do.
And more,
Exactly. So now we can do the adventure videos, which are really fun to edit because you
can be more creative, and they're just more fun. You know, where the how-tos are kind of like, to me.
Yeah. And I can edit the how-tos myself, just quick edits and out the door. But Cheri is the one that's really got the talent to pick the music and put it to the footage.
Transitions and timing and all of that. I get to be creative, and I love that part of it. Yeah.
And people are really starting to like that.
Yeah, and I just learned
format.
to edit, 4 years ago? So it's still, I'm still learning, and I'm still in iMovie. I'm still basic. So you can do a lot with just the basics, an iPhone and iMovie.
Did you ever feel there was a push that, okay, I'm doing this in iMovie, maybe I should be looking in more sophisticated quote-unquote equipment?
Yes, in fact, we had Premiere Pro and Final Cut for, a couple years ago we got that. And I found Premiere Pro was a little too much for me. So Final Cut was more Apple friendly, the transition from iMovie. So I've kind of played in that a little bit. But it's been a matter of having time to learn it. There's a learning curve, and so I play a little bit here and there while I can, but it is goal to up my game.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And with the videos that you have out now, so you've been YouTubing for a while and obviously been traveling for a while full time, what has the evolution of the YouTube channel been like? What are we producing now, and how are people reacting to it? Obviously well, because they're lining up for you.
Yeah, well, we've been implementing more creativity in the front end of our videos, because we feel like people really like, just to get people all pumped up and excited, and just like
a great song and some really beautiful footage,
inspiring music, or something that's just, just feels good, and we want people just to feel good and be inspired.
And looking for creative camera angles. Hence the world's longest selfie pole that we debuted here.
This was the debut.
This is the debut.
In
it's
public.
new.
Oh, wow.
It's new.
All right.
Yeah.
And you got to use that several times. We had such a big crowd outside that you had to do multiple selfies there.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, and since you guys can't see it, it's basically extendable 30-foot pole that you can put a little GoPro or camera on the end of it.
It's a great hack if you can't fly a drone. You still want some footage that's different and up high.
Right.
So, and we're hoping it turned out. We haven't seen the footage. We don't know how far away to get, so this will be interesting.
So it's just stuff like that. Footage down low, just a unique angle that we can get that nobody else has done.
Just trying to be creative and up our game, and
Right, and I think so that's the adventure part, the creative part, and I've launched a podcast now, which is still video on YouTube. I'll just call it a video podcast on YouTube during the week, but I've also put it on the other major podcast platforms, and
Spotify is one of them.
Right, iTunes, Amazon, and just because we actually have so much content,
and
so many ideas that we cannot possibly put them into regular videos, and either they won't get done, or if it's something that people can just listen to. So even though it's a video, and I recorded episode 2 right out in front of the Lippert booth out here as you guys were setting up on Monday.
Okay.
And just where you don't have to watch. You can just listen, and a lot of people on YouTube do just listen as they're cooking, cleaning, working out.
Well, also a lot of travelers are listening, and while they're traveling, they can't watch videos. So let's give them something to listen to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was the thought process to get that started? Obviously, the excess content and everything, but had you been thinking about this for a while, or did it just kind of inspire you?
I have been pushing him for way
Okay.
too long. Like, he has so much to say and so much to teach, and he loves to teach. He has a passion for teaching and helping people and inspiring people. It's like, you need to start a podcast. This is what you need to do just to get it out there. And I don't know, it's like a passion for him, and I'm so proud of him for finally doing it.
And it goes back to challenging yourself and upping that creative
Absolutely.
game, right?
And I think it was you think, podcast, new platforms, all this stuff, and then I discovered this Anchor.fm by Spotify.
Okay.
It's a completely free platform that you can easily upload almost any kind of audio and video to, and with their tools, you can put together a podcast really quickly, and then just take your feed and add it to all these other platforms. And if it's easy like that, it's free. It's like, all right, it's time to do this.
Yeah.
Time to get going. And is the podcast also Enjoy the Journey, or is there a separate
Yes,
name to it? Okay.
EnjoyTheJourney.Life, and maybe we put RV on the end of it, RV and travel, and we're still trying to figure out all of that.
Yeah. But it makes it easy
So-
for folks to search for you, because I mean they're already searching Enjoy the Journey on YouTube, and boom, now this will come up for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we hope so.
Absolutely. Is this coming out weekly, the podcast, or how often? Do we have a schedule?
Not a set schedule. I'm thinking, during the week, Wednesday, Thursday is the hope, but no like set. It's going to drop at this time. I know, not yet.
You're not tying yourself down to a specific day.
Right.
But maybe that'll come. Maybe you'll be doing 2 or 3 down the road every week. You know?
Right.
Very possibly. I mean, I've got some scripts I've written for a video originally from months, if not years ago. I said, we got to do this, but we never do. And I just grabbed that script, and I can make a podcast.
Well, when you only do 52 videos a year, around 52, and we have so much more to do, it's like we can't edit that many videos. It's just, it's a lot.
Yeah, you say only 52 as if that's not a lot.
Right. We have just multiple ideas, but we want to share our adventures as well.
Absolutely.
And so. Yeah, and then things come up like this where we want to share these things too, and we have so much we want to share.
Yeah, and when you share that, you're also inspiring audiences to maybe share their own. Have you met or gotten feedback from those who have gone on to do content creation because they saw you?
Yes, this weekend.
Yes,
I mean, this week. Yeah, we've had so many people say, we started our own channel, and thank you. You're the one that inspired us, and it's just, I'm blown away.
Yeah, so it's not just a lifestyle. It's right. People that are actually jumping into YouTube and creating their own content, which I think is great because everybody puts their own spin on it, their own experiences, and it's just such a wonderful group of people. Like tonight, there's like a get together, a meetup of all these RV
content creators
at the Wings place out here.
Yeah, I always find it interesting when they say, but we're a small channel, we only have da-da-da-da numbers. And I'm like, well, we were there too, not long ago.
At one point you had one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, just keep that grind going, and they're inspiring people. We inspired people to now inspire people, and they will inspire people to inspire people.
Well, and some of the ideas I have for the podcast are things that are a little bit more motivational and around business and entrepreneurship. The channel has been mostly RV and travel related content, but my passion is small business and motivating people to, live a life of their dreams. And I feel like the podcast is going to be a great place for that, to be able to share some of our ideas, even healthy living. We've discovered some hacks. Cheri's lost 40 pounds. I've lost some weight as well, and
we won't say a number.
I've lost a measly 8 pounds.
He's just started though. He just started doing what I've been doing. So I mean, he's losing it faster than me.
Right. So people are asking, Cheri, what have you done? You got to share it.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that, because our channel is EnjoyTheJourney.Life, and it's not just, again, RVing and travel, but you got to feel good.
Yeah.
You got feel good health wise, and feel good about yourself. And so we're going to try to cover the entire spectrum the best we can, or at least our take on that. And I mean, you have this incredible mental health hack that you just learned.
I was actually just treated for PTSD that I've been struggling with for decades, and we're going to be sharing. And vets can get this for free through a nonprofit. And I know there's a lot of vets suffering with PTSD, and nobody should live with that. So I will be sharing more on that. I'm actually just on day 8 since my therapy, and it continues to heal over 10 days is what they said. So I'm still in the healing process, and it's been nothing short of a miracle.
Very cool.
And I have a lot to share around that. So.
Yeah, creating a podcast, creating more content, being able to share things that aren't necessarily RV related.
Yeah.
That's incredible to be able to share all that on the Enjoy the Journey YouTube page, Facebook and Instagram as well. And now you can catch podcasts wherever podcasts are able to be heard. So that's incredible.
Thank you
so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
I love it. Are you guys ready for another meet and greet?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Here we go. Maybe we'll
more.
rest our voices overnight. Maybe we'll be ready to go in the morning.
Yeah, one more tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for watching or listening to podcast number 3.
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie, for joining.
Happy to be here.
And we have more coming out that you will be in because we have a lot to share.
We do. We have a lot coming up, a lot of really important topics and things that might interest a vast array of people.
Right.
So, yeah.
And as I've mentioned before, we're not just going to talk about RV stuff, RV living, travel, but things about making your entire life better.
Better.
Like around your health, mental health, physical, and just feeling good because you've got to feel good in order to enjoy the journey, right?
Exactly it.
So with that, friends, we will end this podcast. And with that, remember to enjoy